Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to paint a Baby Yoda denim jacket. I'm going to use fabric paint. The stuff is all washable. I recommend you wash it by hand and dry it by hand. Alright, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get on with the video. Okay, so this is the jacket I'm going to use. It is a denim jacket from Old Navy. It is a baby's denim jacket, which is great because my workspace is not that large. Baby Yoda, baby jacket. It's a size 18 to 24 months. This is the fabric paint I'm going to start off with. It is dimensional fabric paint from acmore, and I'm using it for my base here. When you paint on a denim jacket, the paint gets soaked up by the fabric in that first layer so much. So I'm just using this paint to get a good base and a good first coat. I'm going to paint over all of this. So for this part, you could use blue painter's tape to make a perfect line and make sure that your paint doesn't seep over where you don't want it. I'm not going to do that because I don't have any painter's tape, and I'm also just going to try to have a steady hand and make a good line myself. I'm trying to make my line right there on the seams. I'm using a square-tipped paintbrush because that helps me make better lines. So now I'm going to use my Tulip soft fabric paint in the shade Blue Marine. This stuff's really great. It dries matte and it says it's machine washable. Again, I really feel like it's just safer to just hand wash things like this, but it can be machine washed. Definitely wouldn't dry it. I would dry it outside or dry it on the line somewhere. So right here, I decide to use my blue and try to outline Baby Yoda. It's kind of like I'm doing a sketch here. It worked okay. I end up changing to this fabric marker that I have, and it worked out a lot better. You could try to use pencil if you want, if you're afraid if you wanted to erase. For me, I wasn't afraid because see, with the hand there, I made a lot of lines because I didn't really like the way I drew it at first, so then I corrected that. But it's all okay because I end up painting over that, so you don't need to erase if you're just going to paint over anyway, in my opinion. I made the ears now, and now I'm trying to just get a little bit of the face. And the face was a little difficult, but not too crazy. Just started with the eyes because the eyes tend to be a harder thing for me, because if you put them in the wrong spot, then the whole face is going to be disproportionate. And now I'm making his little kind of wrinkles and defining that a bit. I will be painting over it, so you really don't have to worry about all those extra lines and all my mistakes. And I also didn't want to get too detailed. I was just trying to put down where things are generally going to be, and then I'm going to work on my details later. If doing your sketch right on the jacket overwhelms you, I recommend maybe making a sketch beforehand on a piece of paper and practicing that. That would help a lot because practice makes perfect. I personally feel that sometimes I overthink it if I sketch it beforehand, so I just like to go ahead and try it on the project itself, just because, again, I can just paint over it. If I did the eyes wrong, I could add some more of that white paint and get rid of those lines I made and redo it. But everyone has to use their own techniques and do things that works best for them. I don't have a baby, so this project is going to be for sale on my Poshmark, which is going to be listed in the description below. I forgot to show it on camera, but the paint that I'm using from this point on in the project for the browns and the green, everything else, it's gonna be Tulip paint, just like before, Tulip, Tulip. And now I'm gonna come in with my green, and see right here, I'm painting over all those extra lines in Baby Yoda's hand, and they're covering up really nicely. And now I'm going down to his other hand. I'm just trying to get the green color in, and then I'm going to go in with shading and details a little later. So now I basically paint over like all of the sketch I made for his face except for his eyes, but that's fine with me because I know where I put down that sketch and I can do my details where the sketch was before I painted over it. So now I'm using different shades of green to create shading in Baby Yoda's face. Like I'm making his ears, his big ears, a little darker where, there'd be depth. I'm adding some light highlights to areas like above his eye and under his eye. Bit of dark shadow near his chin. So now I'm going to start some of my detail, and this is my favorite part. I get my black fabric paint and I water it down a little bit so it's easier to use. It almost becomes like an ink, and I just glide it around and I'm creating my black lines and my detail lines. I start with Baby Yoda's eyes, and now I'm adding some of his upper eye lines, and then I'm moving on to his wrinkles. I'm making my lines very light, and then I'm going to darken them later. I do this as my technique to put line work in, because if I mess up, I feel like if it's a light line, it's easier to cover up than maybe a dark line. With the mouth, I make two lines on the side. They're like his little wrinkle lines, and I'm connecting that with one single line and then adding his mouth. Here I'm adding some nice little wrinkles next to his eyes. I didn't want to overdo it with the wrinkles because I really like Baby Yoda's cute little wrinkly face, but I've seen some other art that go a little overboard and I don't like it as much, so I wanted to keep it a little subtle. So I just basically did little crow's feet around the eyes, little wrinkles around, his forehead. Just nice and simple, and I like it. I like the way it turned out. I'm adding a little bit of shadow to Baby Yoda's outfit. I made his mouth pink and I immediately regretted it, and I darken it. But that's what I mean, like, you know, you can paint over everything and try again, and if you don't like it, just paint over it. And I do end up with a tone that I'm pretty happy with, a nice good shade, darker. I feel like the darker fits, and the bright pink was a little too, like, cartoony. Now that I'm done my line work, for the most part, I decided to make the background this pretty light blue. It's from the Tulip brand of paint, just the same as I used before. Now that I did the background, I'm going to go back in with my black detail paint and do the outer layer, the outline of Baby Yoda. I'm working on the finishing touches. You could obviously do the background first in your own project, but when I was doing this, I was just so excited to paint Baby Yoda, I didn't really want to work on the background first. I wanted to just go ahead and do it, and it worked out for me. It was fine, because I made the background just that one color, and it wasn't big of a hassle to do it this way. But it's important that you do the way that you like. Sometimes I do like to do the background first, like when I do landscapes. I'm also going back and making those thinner lines darker and more defined. And here it is all done. I'm very happy with it. The photograph doesn't make the blue look as dark. This one makes it look more true the way it looked in real life. And I really like this project, and I hope you try it yourself and tell me in the comments below what you thought. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.